practice, practice, then practice some more.
Yeah.
Whether you're practicing drawing the firearm and holstering it, whether you're practicing drawing it out, pushing it out, pulling it back in and holstering it. And every time you practice, once you get that first part done, I would break my practice, especially if you're new, break my practice up into little increments. Drawing it, holstering it, drawing it, holstering it.
Make sure the firearm's
Unloaded. Yes. Don't practice. Yeah, don't practice with a loaded firearm.
Yeah, don't ever practice. Now, you know what? You could sit there and say, "Well, Michael, Chad, I drive all day." Okay, then I want you to go sit in your driveway, put your seatbelt on with an unloaded firearm, and practice drawing in there. Go inside your house, sit down in a chair, and you might have a robe. Put the robe up and simulate a seatbelt, and practice sitting there and drawing your firearm. Practice in a passenger seat from the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
Practice.
Yeah, and practice in those situations that aren't, I'm just standing there like I'm at the range.
Right.
Like you said, practice in your car. Practice sitting in the recliner, or to mimic that.
Right.
Practice, I'm laying down on the ground and I need to draw.
And when you're practicing, please practice in private. I know I just said you could practice in your firearm, but don't be in the middle of the Walmart parking lot.
Yeah.
Trying to practice your draw and having people walking by.
Yeah. If you're going to practice in your car, have your car in the garage with the door shut.
Yeah, preferably not running.
Don't have it running.
Safety first here.
But the big thing it's going to do, going back to those high stress situations, it's going to build muscle memory.
Yeah.
Where your body is just going to instinctively do it.
Correct. Because if you're driving and you have that seatbelt there, that muscle memory should say, this hand I move the seatbelt, this hand I do this, and it should almost be just a natural reaction. You have to, that muscle memory for you is going to be different than me and him, because we may not always be in a vehicle all the time. Now, did we practice that? I'm sure we did a little bit, but that may not be our forte. I don't drive a big semi truck.
No.
I'm not a trucker. So my muscle memory will be different than him while he's in there. You know what I'm saying? Just learn your situation and muscle memory to what you need.
And again, go to those awkward situations.
Yeah.
We should probably do this again sometime, because it's been a while since I've done anything like this. But we should get the practice gun.
Yep.
And okay, there's an altercation and we're wrestling, and now I need to get to it.
Yep.
But yeah, practice. Even if you don't ever think you're going to be in that situation, practice it some, because Murphy's Law says it'll happen then.
Yep. One of the big things that I remember practicing with and doing stuff like that was, and you kind of think it's a little weird, but a lot of times if you trip or fall or something like that, and let's say someone's coming at you with a bat and you're falling, practice drawing in a fall position, because that could help too.
Right. Yeah.
You get a little mat that you could put down, or you practice falling on your couch and see, because I'm telling you, if I'm falling this way and that's the side I carry my firearm, and just like you said, if you fall on your back, if this guy has a crowbar and he's coming and and his buddy's knocking me to the back, I may have to get to that firearm before I actually hit the ground to clear it and do something.
Or you may have to know that, okay, as soon as I hit, I'm rolling to my left so that I can get to it. Or
right. It is still a practice situation. Again, no loaded firearms. But you need to practice different situations. If you're clumsy or you're smaller and you've noticed that I've been in a few fights and every time I've gotten knocked down. Well, that may be where you need to practice, which way to go or how to fall correctly to get to that if you have to.
Mm-hmm.
So